Hi and welcome back. Today we're talking about Victory over Japan Day, VJ Day, the most exciting day in World War II because it signified the end of the war. August 14th, 1945. George, a young sailor, had returned home after being in battle for a long time to build back up his strength to go back for what they thought was going to have to be the invasion of Japan. And while he was home, he met a young woman, Rita, at a family barbecue. So he asked her out. Their first date, they went to Radio City Music Hall and to watch a movie, the 105 movie. And in the middle of the movie, there was pounding at the door. Bang, bang, bang. And they jumped up because somebody ran in and said, "The Japanese surrendered, the war is over." Everyone poured out of the movie theater. Of course, George and Rita headed into a bar. George admits popping quite a few drinks. And then they went to Times Square. Now along comes a nurse. As I mentioned earlier, George had been in the Philippines in the service, and he had watched the kamikaze bombing of Bunker Hill, where 346 men died. And he helped pull some of the burnt bodies out of the water, and he watched the nurses and how they tenderly cared for the men, the injured men. So he saw this nurse, and he just grabbed her, bent her over, and gave her a big kiss. Well, I think you know what I'm talking about now. The most iconic photograph of the end of World War II. The thing, it's the funniest story. You can see it right here. It's also on the blog. The funny part is Rita, his date, who he hadn't kissed yet, is sitting right back here looking over the shoulders. So that was, it just signified how everyone felt. I know in Seattle, people I've interviewed said that everybody ran downtown. There was an instant parade, and everyone was just drinking, singing, and music everywhere, and it was a grand festivity because of the years and years of this waiting for this one moment to happen. So I hope you enjoyed this article about Victory over Japan Day, and do stay tuned because I did interview a gentleman who was unfortunate enough to have been on the Bunker Hill and fortunate enough to have survived. But his story makes you tremble. Thank you, and enjoy every day. I would be remiss if I didn't get the history correct, in that the woman, Greta, who he kisses, was not actually a nurse. She was a dental assistant, but to George, she was a nurse and one of the angels who had helped save so many lives. So, there you have it, the story behind the kiss.